close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Now in this moment, cast aside the old version of yourself, the one who hoped, doubted, and waited. You are stepping into your millionaire phase, and that means a transformation from within. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you become. It is not about doing more, but about being more. Do you feel it? That shift in awareness? That knowing that you were never meant for struggle but for ease? The world around you is nothing but a reflection of your inner assumptions. If you see yourself as someone who lacks, then lack will be your companion. But if you see yourself as one who commands abundance, then wealth must obey. This is not philosophy, it is law. You must assume the feeling of already being there, not tomorrow, not next year, now. Walk through life as the one who already holds the riches you desire. Feel the security, the power, the freedom. Let it be so natural to you that it becomes your new identity. When you wake up, do not ask, how will I become wealthy? Instead, declare, I am wealthy. When you go about your day, do not count the money you lack. Count the abundance that is flowing toward you. And as you do this, something miraculous happens. Doors open. Opportunities appear. The right people are drawn to you. Not because you begged or struggled, but because you aligned. Step boldly into this new reality. Walk with the confidence of one who knows their wealth is inevitable. Speak only of prosperity, expect only the best, and most importantly, never again doubt the power that resides within you. Your millionaire phase is here. Not in the future, not in some distant dream. Now. Everything you desire begins first in the unseen. Before wealth can manifest in your outer world, it must be constructed within. Your imagination is not a passive daydream, it is the blueprint of your entire reality. The riches you seek do not come from toil alone, nor from chance or luck, but from the mind that has already accepted them as real. You are the architect of your fortune, and the foundation is laid in thought. For a moment, the life of a millionaire, what do they think when they wake up in the morning? How do they carry themselves? What beliefs do they hold about money, success, and abundance? They do not move through life with the mindset of lack. They do not question whether wealth is possible for them. It is not a distant goal, it is their identity. They expect it, live it, and move as if it were already theirs. And because they assume it so naturally, the world mirrors it back to them. You too must step into that same consciousness before you ever see the evidence. You must allow yourself to feel what it is like to live in abundance before the money arrives. This is the secret that separates those who struggle from those who thrive. It is never about circumstances, it is always about assumption. If you still believe wealth is something outside of you, something that must be earned through exhausting labor or granted by forces beyond your control, you will forever chase it. And the more you chase, the more it evades you. But the moment you understand that riches are first cultivated in the mind, everything begins to shift. You no longer ask, how will I become wealthy? Instead, you declare, I am wealthy. Not as wishful thinking, but as a certainty as real as the breath in your lungs. Do not be deceived by appearances. The physical world is slow to catch up to the convictions of the mind. Just as a seed planted in the soil takes time to sprout, so too does your new self-concept need time to take root. But once you commit fully, once you refuse to entertain any thought of lack, you will notice the world reshaping itself around you. Opportunities you never saw before will emerge. Ideas will come. The right people will appear. And you will recognize that none of it was coincidence. It was all the reflection of the new reality you built within. Doubt is the only thing that delays the process. Every time you question, every time you worry, you undo the foundation. The moment you say, but I don't see it yet, you return to the mindset of lack. You must persist in the assumption, even when there is no visible proof. Trust that it is already done. Trust that the unseen is more real than what your eyes perceive. Many make the mistake of thinking that wealth is only a result of effort. But effort alone, without the right mindset, is meaningless. You have seen people work tirelessly their entire lives and remain in struggle. You have also seen those who seem to attract success effortlessly, as if by some unseen force. That unseen force is belief. It is assumption hardened into fact. It is the unwavering conviction that wealth is their natural state. Step into this awareness now. Begin to walk as the millionaire version of yourself. Speak as they would speak. Move as they would move. Think as they would think. Do not wait for the world to confirm it within, and the world will follow. You do not need to beg for riches, nor do you need to prove yourself worthy of them. You need only assume them. The moment you do, everything else begins to align. That you have already arrived. The struggle is over. The worry, the doubt, the endless questioning, gone. You no longer wonder how or when wealth will come because it is already here. You move through life with a quiet certainty, a deep knowing that you are financially free. There is no hesitation in your step, no fear in your heart. You are at peace, yet empowered because you have stepped fully into the life of abundance. This is not just a passing thought. It is a state of being. You must not only think about wealth, you must feel it. Breathe it in. Let it settle into your bones. Let it become so familiar that it is no longer something you aspire to. It is something you are. When you embody the feeling of financial freedom, you no longer operate from a place of lack. You no longer grasp at wealth as if it were outside of you. Instead, you radiate prosperity, and the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Understand this: you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you continue to feel as though you are struggling, if you continue to worry about money, then that is the reality you will continue to experience. But the moment you shift into the feeling of already having financial freedom, everything begins to change. Not because you are forcing anything to happen, but because you are aligning yourself with the reality where wealth is inevitable. When you truly assume the feeling of abundance, your actions change naturally. You make decisions from a place of confidence rather than desperation. You no longer chase money, you allow it to flow to you effortlessly. You no longer fear spending because you trust that more is always coming. You no longer see opportunities as risky but as invitations to expand. This is not about pretending or forcing yourself to believe something that feels untrue. It is about stepping into a version of yourself that has always existed. The version that has never doubted, never struggled, never lived in fear. That version of you is not bound by circumstances. It does not care about what your bank account says today, because it knows that what is seen is only a reflection of old assumptions. Change the assumption, and the reflection must follow. If you were already financially free, how would you feel when you woke up in the morning? Would you wake up with a sense of ease, knowing that all your needs are met? Would you move through your day with confidence, trusting that money is always flowing to you? Would you carry yourself with a quiet certainty, knowing that you are in control of your financial destiny? These are not just hypothetical questions. They are the key to shifting into a new reality. Most people believe they need to see money first before they can feel wealthy, but this is backwards. You must feel wealthy first, and then the money appears. You must act as if you already possess financial freedom, not in an arrogant or reckless way, but in a way that aligns with the person you are becoming. You do not need to tell anyone about it. You do not need to prove it. Simply embody the feeling, and the world will respond accordingly. Doubt will try to creep in. Old fears may whisper that this is foolish, that you must struggle, that wealth is only for the lucky. Ignore them. They are remnants of an old belief system that no longer serves you. Replace them with certainty. Each time doubt arises, return to the feeling. Close your eyes and remind yourself that it is already done. Live today as if you are already financially free. Think from the place of abundance, not towards it. Speak words that affirm your wealth. Move with the confidence of someone who knows that money is never a problem. Do this consistently, unwaveringly, and soon the world around you will reshape itself to match the truth you have claimed. Money does not respond to desperation. It does not move toward those who chase it with fear and anxiety. Instead, it flows to those who welcome it, to those who expect it as naturally as they expect the sun to rise. The struggle mentality, the belief that wealth requires endless toil, sacrifice, and suffering, only pushes money further away. You must detach from this mindset if you wish to step into true financial freedom. Think of a person running after something with frantic energy. The very act of chasing implies that the thing they desire is running away from them. This is how most people approach money. They believe they must fight for it, that it is scarce, that only through relentless effort will they be able to earn enough to survive. But what they fail to realize is that their desperation is creating resistance. The more they believe money is difficult to obtain, the more difficult it becomes for them. Picture another person, calm, assured, moving through life with confidence. They do not chase, they do not beg, they simply expect. Money flows to them not because they are lucky or privileged, but because they have removed all mental barriers that say wealth must be hard to achieve. They have detached from the struggle mentality. They understand that abundance is a state of mind before it is a physical reality. Detaching does not mean being passive. It does not mean sitting back and doing nothing, waiting for wealth to magically appear. Instead, it means letting go of the belief that financial gain must come through struggle. It means releasing the fear that money will disappear or that there is never enough. When you shift into this new state of being, you no longer act from a place of scarcity. You take inspired action, not frantic action. You make decisions from a place of security, not desperation. Imagine money as a guest in your home. If you were to plead and beg for them to stay, they would feel uncomfortable, unwelcome, and leave. But if you greet them with confidence, knowing they will always return, they feel at ease and will visit often. Money behaves the same way. If you act as though it is rare and fleeting, it will remain distant. But if you trust that it will always come to you, it will flow effortlessly into your life. The mistake most people make is tying their emotions to their bank account. When money is low, they panic. They tighten their grip, cutting off the very flow they wish to expand. When money is high, they feel relief, but still fear it could be taken away at any moment. This cycle of emotional attachment keeps them trapped in financial instability. True wealth begins when you remain emotionally steady, regardless of external circumstances. You do not allow numbers to dictate your state of mind. You remain rooted in the belief that money is always available, always flowing, always finding its way to you. Think about the wealthiest people in the world. They do not operate with the belief that money is difficult to acquire. They do not wake up each morning fearing they will lose it all. Instead, they assume that abundance is their natural state, and because of that assumption, their wealth continues to grow. You must adopt this same mindset. The moment you stop grasping for money, it begins to flow freely. The key to wealth is not found in struggle, but in expectation. The moment you release the belief that money is hard to earn, you open the door for it to come effortlessly. Stop asking, "How will I get more money?" and start declaring, "Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways." Stop worrying about lack and start assuming abundance. There is a version of you that has known struggle, a version that has worried about money, doubted opportunities, and lived with the constant fear of lack. This version of you has been shaped by years of conditioning, by beliefs passed down from family, by experiences of hardship, by a world that teaches scarcity rather than abundance. But understand this: that version of you cannot enter the reality where wealth flows effortlessly. The moment you step into your millionaire phase, the old self must be left behind. You cannot carry doubt into abundance. You cannot hold on to fear and expect prosperity to stay. You must release every belief that has tied you to struggle, because those thoughts belong to a person who no longer exists. The mind of a millionaire does not entertain worry over bills. It does not dwell on thoughts of lack or limitation. It does not question whether money will come. It assumes wealth as a fact of life. And if you are to step into this new reality, you must begin by silencing the voice of the old identity. This is not a process of fighting against your past beliefs, but rather dissolving them through awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise when you think about wealth. Do you hear a voice saying, "It's not possible for me. Money is hard to get. I've never been lucky with finances"? If so, recognize that this is not your voice. It is the voice of the old self, the one who has struggled. That self is only alive if you continue to give it attention. The moment you stop listening, it begins to fade. You must replace these outdated thoughts with new, empowering ones. When doubt creeps in, respond to it with certainty. When fear arises, remind yourself that fear is only an illusion, a remnant of an identity that no longer serves you. Every time you choose confidence over worry, every time you assume abundance rather than lack, you are strengthening the foundation of your new reality. Imagine standing at the doorway of a grand, luxurious home. This home represents your new life, one of financial ease, freedom, and limitless possibility. But at the entrance stands your old identity, clinging to you, begging to come inside. It reminds you of every past struggle, every failure, every moment of doubt. If you listen, if you allow it to walk through that door with you, it will bring the energy of lack into a space meant for abundance. But if you firmly step forward, refusing to carry the weight of old fears, you will find yourself in a reality where wealth is not something you chase, it is something you embody. This transition is not about external change first, it is about an internal shift. If you continue to think, feel, and act like the person who has struggled, you will remain in that experience. But if you begin to think, feel, and act as the version of yourself who already possesses financial freedom, your world must rearrange itself to reflect that truth. The outer world is only a mirror of the inner state. Change within, and the external must follow. Commit to this transformation. Make a decision today that you will no longer entertain the thoughts, fears, and limitations of the old self. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself, I am already wealthy, I am already successful, money flows to me effortlessly. Speak these words not as a wish, but as a truth you are now living. Move through your day making decisions from this new mindset. Invest in yourself with confidence. Accept opportunities without fear. Trust that wealth is not something you must earn through endless struggle, but something that responds to your belief in it. Silence the old identity and a new world will open before you. A world where you are no longer bound by past limitations. A world where abundance is your birthright. Step into this new reality fully and do not look back. The words you speak shape the world you live in. Every sentence, every thought spoken aloud is a command to the universe, an instruction to reality itself. If you desire wealth, then wealth must be the language you speak. There is no room for words of lack, no space for complaints about what is missing. To step into abundance, you must learn to speak it into existence. Most people do not realize that their own words are keeping them trapped in financial struggle. They say things like, money is hard to come by. I never have enough. I can't afford that. Each time they speak these words, they reinforce the very reality they wish to escape. The universe does not distinguish between what you want and what you fear. It simply responds to what you continuously affirm. If you declare lack, you will experience lack. If you declare wealth, you will experience wealth. This is why you must guard your words carefully. Do not allow yourself to speak casually about financial struggle, even in jest. Every time you say, I'm broke, or I can't make ends meet, you are solidifying that experience in your life. Instead, shift your language completely. Even if your current reality does not yet reflect abundance, speak as if it does. Say, money flows to me easily. I am financially free. Opportunities come to me effortlessly. These are not just affirmations, they are instructions. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe, and when spoken consistently, they must bear fruit. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It absorbs everything you say, whether positive or negative, and works to bring those words to life. If you constantly speak of hardship, your subconscious will ensure you experience more of it. But if you fill your speech with words of prosperity, your subconscious will begin to align your actions, decisions, and circumstances to match that prosperity. Consider the way wealthy people speak. They do not dwell on limitations. They do not speak about money as if it is scarce or difficult to obtain. Instead, they speak with certainty about their financial success. They expect abundance, and because of this expectation, it manifests effortlessly in their lives. You must do the same. Stop saying, I hope to be wealthy one day. Hope implies uncertainty. Instead say, I am wealthy now. Even if you have little in your bank account today, speak as though wealth is already yours, because in doing so you are creating the conditions for it to appear. Some may wonder, but isn't this just pretending? No, this is not pretending. This is programming. The more you speak abundance into existence, the more your mind and energy align with that reality. Your beliefs begin to shift. Your actions start to change. You become the kind of person who attracts wealth naturally simply because you no longer hold space for anything less. To truly master this, remove all negative financial language from your life completely. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, say, I choose to invest in other things right now. Instead of saying, I never have enough money, say, money is always finding its way to me in expected and unexpected ways. Replace every word of lack with a word of abundance and watch how your reality transforms. The universe listens to your words as if they are law. Speak only of the wealth you wish to experience. Speak only of the abundance that is already yours, and soon the world around you will have no choice but to reflect the truth you have spoken into existence. There is a profound difference between hoping for wealth and knowing it is yours. Hope implies uncertainty. It suggests that what you desire is separate from you, that it may or may not arrive. But certainty is a force that bends reality. It carries an unshakable confidence, a quiet, steady assurance that what you seek is already done. When you shift from hoping to knowing, from wishing to expecting, You align yourself with the very frequency of wealth itself. And when you align, the world must conform. Look at those who are wealthy. They do not wake up hoping that money will come to them. They do not question whether they are deserving of success. They move through life with a quiet confidence, an inner conviction that abundance is simply a fact of their existence. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. They do not beg opportunities to find them. They expect them. They do not chase money, it flows to them effortlessly. Why? Because they have assumed the identity of wealth, and in doing so they have made it their reality. You must do the same. The moment you step into certainty, everything shifts. Your energy changes, your posture straightens, your voice carries more authority, your decisions become clearer. You no longer entertain thoughts of lack, because you no longer see lack as part of your world. You no longer question if wealth is coming, you know it is already here. And because of that knowing, you begin to act as though you are already living in your millionaire phase. Certainty is not something you acquire from the outside world. It is something you cultivate from within. It is a decision. You must decide right now that wealth is already yours. Not someday, not when circumstances change, now. Because the moment you declare it, the universe begins rearranging itself to match your belief. Many people live their entire lives in the energy of hoping. They hope their situation improves. They hope for financial freedom. They hope for better opportunities. But hope lacks power. It leaves the door open for doubt, for hesitation, for delay. Those who walk in certainty move differently. They invest in themselves without fear. They speak about their wealth as if it is already here. They make decisions from a place of abundance, not limitation. And because they carry themselves as though they are already successful, success cannot help but follow. This is why belief is everything. If you believe that money is difficult to obtain, that wealth is for others but not for you, then that belief will be reflected in your reality. But if you believe that financial abundance is your natural state, if you believe that you are already wealthy, then the world around you must adjust to fit that belief. The external world is always a mirror of the internal state. Change the inner, and the outer must follow. This is not about pretending, it is about embodying. You are not simply acting like a wealthy person, you are becoming one. The certainty you cultivate will guide your thoughts, your words, and your actions until wealth is no longer something you seek, but something you are. And when you become wealth in your mind, you will see it reflected in your bank account, in your lifestyle, in the effortless way opportunities flow to you. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you become. It is not outside of you waiting to be earned, it is within you, waiting to be realized. The journey to your millionaire phase does not begin with struggle, effort, or external validation. It begins with alignment. It begins with the way you think, feel, speak, and move in the world. You must see yourself as wealthy before the world confirms it. You must speak abundance before it manifests. You must walk with certainty, not as someone hoping for wealth, but as someone who knows it is already theirs. Detach from the struggle mentality, silence the old identity, and never allow words of lack to escape your lips. The moment you assume the state of financial freedom, you call it into being. Your imagination is the blueprint, your emotions are the fuel, and your belief is the key that unlocks the door. When you live in the feeling of already having wealth, when you let go of desperation and replace it with unwavering certainty, the universe must respond. So step forward with confidence, speak only of abundance, act as though you are already the person you desire to be, and soon you will see the world reshape itself to reflect the truth you have embraced. Thank you.
Let me tell you something. In this life, not everyone who smiles in your face is on your side. Not everyone who claps for you wants to see you win. But here's the beauty of it. God knows. He knows the hearts of the people around you. And when it's time, He will reveal the truth. God doesn't shout when He reveals fake people. He whispers through your intuition. That feeling you get when someone's words don't match their energy, that's not paranoia, that's discernment. It's God saying, pay attention, and if you don't hear His whispers, He'll show you through their actions. A person's true character will always reveal itself in what they do, not just in what they say. Pay attention to the patterns. When someone repeatedly lies, disrespects, or dismisses you, don't ignore it. God is speaking through their behavior. Now, here's the hard truth. God doesn't reveal fake people in moments of joy. No, he does it when life gets tough. When you're down to nothing, that's when you see who's really for you and who's just been pretending. And trust me, when people walk away in those moments, don't chase them, let them go. That's not a loss, it's a blessing. Sometimes, God won't even need to show you their actions. He'll just separate you from them. You'll wonder why you don't hear from them anymore, or why the relationship suddenly feels distant. That silence isn't rejection, it's protection. God is removing them so you can focus on the path He has for you. And when He removes someone, don't ask why, don't question the process. Instead, thank Him. God doesn't take people out of your life to hurt you. He does it to protect you, to clear the space for the right ones. So when you feel like someone's been exposed, don't fight it. Don't make excuses for them. Trust what God is showing you. Because every time He removes a fake person, He's opening the door for peace, clarity, and authentic relationships. Intuition isn't loud. It doesn't demand your attention like a trumpet sounding off. Instead, it's a gentle whisper in your soul, a quiet reminder that something isn't quite right. Many of us have been taught to ignore this feeling, to rationalize it away, to give people the benefit of the doubt, even when every fiber of our being is telling us otherwise. But that inner voice, that sense of discomfort or suspicion, is often God's way of protecting us before the damage is done. Think about it. How many times in your life have you looked back and said, I knew something wasn't right about that person, or I should have trusted my gut? That wasn't just hindsight, it was evidence of God speaking to you through your spirit, urging you to see the truth before it was too late. God sees what we cannot see. He knows the hearts of the people around us. God is watching. While we may be charmed by their words, appearances, or even their actions in the moment, God sees their true intentions, their hidden motives, and the potential harm they could bring into our lives. When you feel uneasy about someone, don't dismiss it as paranoia or overthinking. That feeling is a gift, a form of discernment placed within you to navigate the complexities of relationships. Sometimes it might be subtle, a quiet hesitation before trusting someone, a small voice in your head urging caution. Other times it might hit you like a wave, an overwhelming sense that something isn't adding up. Either way, don't ignore it. That's God working through you, preparing you to make wise decisions. Trusting your intuition doesn't mean you approach people with suspicion or doubt their sincerity at every turn. It means you remain aware, observant, and willing to acknowledge when something doesn't sit right with you. It's not about judgment, it's about protection. When God whispers to your spirit, He is offering you an opportunity to see beyond the surface, to discern truth from deception, and to safeguard your peace. Direct your eyes. We second-guess ourselves. We convince ourselves that we're being too critical or too sensitive. We allow others to explain away our feelings or dismiss them entirely. But intuition isn't something to be explained away. It's a divine gift, and when you learn to trust it, you'll find yourself avoiding unnecessary heartache and disappointment. There's a reason that voice in your spirit feels so persistent. It doesn't fade away because it's not meant to be ignored. When God places a feeling in your heart, it's because He knows something you don't. He's preparing you for what lies ahead. He's giving you the clarity you need to make decisions that align with His plan for your life. So the next time you feel that inner nudge, pause and listen. Don't rush to dismiss it or override it with logic. Ask God for guidance and trust that He will confirm what your spirit is telling you. Intuition is not just a fleeting feeling, it's a form of divine communication. Trust it. Trust Him. In life, words can be beautiful, persuasive, and even comforting. But words alone do not define a person's character. It's easy to speak promises, express admiration, or say all the right things at the right time. Yet the true measure of a person is revealed through their actions. This is especially true when God is working to expose those who do not belong in your life. He often uses the inconsistency between what someone says and what they do to open your eyes to the truth about their intentions. Actions have a way of cutting through the facade. While words can be rehearsed and carefully crafted, actions tend to flow naturally from the heart. They reveal what lies beneath the surface, whether it's integrity, love, or deception. God allows this contrast to become apparent so you can discern who is genuine and who is not. When someone repeatedly says one thing but their actions tell a different story, pay attention. That's God's way of showing you their true nature. Consider the times when someone has made promises to you, promises to support you, to respect you, or to show up for you in your time of need. How often have you seen those promises broken without an explanation or apology? It's in those moments that God is speaking to you through their behavior, highlighting the gap between their words and their deeds. It's not about holding grudges or expecting perfection from others. Rather, it's about recognizing patterns that reveal who they truly are. God doesn't leave you in the dark. He knows that words can be deceiving, and that's why He shines a light on actions. If someone says they care about you but consistently disrespects your boundaries, that's a sign. If they claim to be loyal but are quick to betray your trust when you're not looking, God is showing you that their words are empty. The truth always has a way of coming to the surface, especially when God is involved. I know I need you. Sometimes it takes time to see the full picture. At first, their words might seem genuine. They may even align their actions with their words for a season. But eventually, their true self emerges. God will allow situations to unfold that reveal their priorities, their values, and their real intentions. These moments aren't coincidences. They are divine interventions meant to protect you from placing your trust in the wrong people. When God exposes someone's inconsistency, don't ignore it. It's easy to make excuses for people or convince yourself that their behavior isn't a reflection of who they are. But the reality is that actions speak louder than words, because actions come from the heart. What people consistently do, not what they say, reveals their priorities, their character, and their commitment. But the key to freedom is proclaiming it. This doesn't mean you should approach everyone with suspicion or expect perfection. It simply means that you should stay vigilant and trust what God is showing you. When someone's actions contradict their words, let that be a lesson. Don't cling to their promises or the potential you see in them. Accept the truth that God is revealing, and let their actions guide your understanding of who they are. God uses these moments to protect you, to clear away the distractions, and to make room for people who are genuine, trustworthy, and aligned with your purpose. Trust Him to show you the truth, and trust yourself to act on it. Let their actions speak louder than their words, and you'll never be misled. Tough times have a way of stripping away illusions and exposing reality. When life is smooth and easy, it's hard to tell who is genuinely in your corner and who is just along for the ride. But when challenges arise, when the road gets rough, when the blessings slow down, and when you're no longer in a position to give more than you receive, that's when the truth comes out. That's when God reveals the real character of the people around you. Fake people are often drawn to the light of your success, your energy, or your generosity. They're quick to show up when you have something to offer, but they're just as quick to disappear when you're in need. God allows these moments of difficulty not to harm you, but to remove the wrong people from your life. He knows who truly cares for you, who values you for who you are, rather than what you can provide. And so He uses challenges to reveal the truth. Think about it. In your hardest moments, who was there? Who stayed even when it wasn't convenient or beneficial for them? And who walked away, making excuses or simply disappearing without explanation? Those who leave during your struggles are not meant to be part of your journey. God allows their absence to make room for people who will walk with you through every season, not just the easy ones. When life gets tough, you'll notice how some people shift their behavior. They may avoid your calls or texts, offer hollow excuses, or distance themselves entirely. At first, this might hurt. It's natural to feel betrayed or abandoned by people you once trusted, but over time, you'll realize that their departure was a blessing. Their absence is a sign that they were not meant to go where God is leading you. Challenges have a way of clarifying relationships. They reveal who is loyal, who is genuine, and who is willing to stand by you when there's nothing to gain. True friends, true family, and true partners are those who show up when it's hard, who support you without expecting anything in return, and who remain steadfast in their love and care. These are the people God intends to keep in your life, and tough times are His way of distinguishing them from the rest. It's important to understand that when fake people disappear, it's not a punishment or a reflection of your worth. It's a sign of God's protection and His plan for your growth. He removes those who are not aligned with your purpose because they could hinder your progress or distract you from His calling. Challenges, then, are not just obstacles, they're opportunities for God to refine your circle and strengthen your foundation. Foundation mental challenges are opportunities for God to amplify your purpose and strengthen your foundation. So, the next time you find yourself in a difficult season, don't despair. Instead, pay attention to who remains by your side. Take note of the ones who offer support, encouragement, and love without condition. These are the people God has placed in your life for a reason. And as for those who disappear, let them go. Their departure is not a loss, it's a step toward the life God is preparing for you. Tough times may be uncomfortable, but they are also transformative. They reveal truth, build resilience, and clear the path for better relationships and brighter days. Trust the process and trust God's hand in every aspect of it. When someone repeatedly betrays your trust, it's not a mistake or an accident. It's a pattern, and patterns speak louder than words. God often uses these repeated behaviors to get your attention, to show you what you might be unwilling to see. While you may want to give people the benefit of the doubt or hope that they will change, God uses these patterns as a way to reveal their true intentions and character. The message is clear: pay attention. Every relationship has its moments of misunderstanding or miscommunication, but there's a difference between occasional errors and consistent betrayal. When someone's actions repeatedly hurt you, disregard your boundaries, or undermine your trust, it's no longer about a single incident. It's about who they are choosing to be over and over again. And when God allows these patterns to surface, it's not to make you feel defeated. It's to open your eyes and protect you from further harm. Think about the times you've ignored the red flags because you wanted to believe the best about someone. Maybe they promised to change, apologized with just the right words, or convinced you that their intentions were good. Yet, despite their words, their actions continued to hurt you. That's not a coincidence. It's a sign from God, a gentle but persistent reminder that their behavior is not aligned with the love, respect, and integrity you deserve. Next, God understands that you want to see the good in people, and He knows your heart. But He also knows that some people will take advantage of that goodness. That's why He allows repeated patterns of betrayal to occur, not to break you, but to wake you up. He is showing you the truth so you can make the right decision to protect yourself and move forward in alignment with His purpose for your life. It can be difficult to accept these patterns for what they are, especially when you care deeply about someone. You might find yourself making excuses for them, rationalizing their actions, or hoping that the next time will be different. But God's message is clear. The behavior isn't changing because their heart hasn't changed. If someone continues to betray your trust, it's because they've made a choice, not just once, but repeatedly. And that choice reflects who they are at their core. Paying attention to these patterns doesn't mean you have to respond with anger or resentment. It simply means acknowledging the truth and taking action to protect your peace. God doesn't want you to stay in situations where your trust is consistently broken. He wants you to recognize the signs, learn from them, and make decisions that honor the person He created you to be. When you notice these patterns, don't ignore them. Don't let your desire for things to be different cloud your judgment. Trust that God is revealing this to you for a reason. He's not just showing you what's wrong, He's guiding you toward what's right. He's encouraging you to let go of relationships that are not serving you so that you can make space for the people who will value and respect you. Repeated patterns are not accidents or coincidences. They are lessons. They are reminders that actions speak louder than words, and that consistency reveals character. When God shows you these patterns, listen to Him, trust His guidance, and trust yourself to act on it. By doing so, you'll free yourself from cycles of hurt and step into the relationships in life that align with His best for you. There are moments in life when the noise of relationships, conversations, and interactions becomes overwhelming. You might find yourself questioning someone's intentions, struggling to understand their behavior, or feeling uncertain about their role in your life. In these moments, God often uses silence as a powerful tool to bring clarity. He allows separation, not to punish you, but to create space for you to see things as they truly are. When someone suddenly becomes distant or their presence fades from your life, it can feel unsettling. You may wonder what went wrong or if you could have done something differently. But what feels like rejection is often God's redirection. He removes certain people from your life to give you the opportunity to reflect, to listen, and to align yourself with His purpose. Silence is not abandonment. It's an invitation to focus on what matters most. Silence has a way of revealing truth. In the absence of someone's constant presence or words, you begin to see their impact on your life more clearly. Were they uplifting you or weighing you down? Were they adding value or creating confusion? Sometimes, when you're in the midst of a relationship or friendship, it's hard to see things objectively. The connection, no matter how flawed, can feel familiar and comfortable. But when God allows distance, He's giving you the gift of perspective. This separation isn't always permanent, but it is always purposeful. God uses it to show you who people really are. If someone disappears when you need them most, that's a sign. If their absence brings you peace rather than pain, that's a sign too. Silence speaks volumes, and God uses it to communicate what words cannot. It's in the quiet moments that you realize who is truly for you and who was only meant to be with you for a season. Separation can also be a time of healing and growth. When someone is removed from your life, it's natural to feel a void. But God doesn't leave that space empty. He fills it with His presence, His guidance, and His peace. In the silence, you have the chance to reconnect with yourself and with Him. You begin to see that your worth is not tied to anyone else's approval or presence. You are complete and whole in Him alone. There's a lesson in every separation. It might be a lesson in letting go, in trusting God's plan, or in recognizing your own strength. Whatever the lesson, God uses silence to teach it in a way that words never could. He knows that clarity often comes when distractions are removed. By allowing separation, He's protecting you from relationships that no longer serve your highest good and preparing you for connections that will. Trust the process, even when it feels difficult. Trust that the silence is not a void, but a space for God to work. Pay attention to what you feel and what you learn in these moments of separation. Listen to your heart and listen for God's voice. He speaks in the stillness, guiding you toward what is right and away from what is not. When someone is removed from your life, don't chase after them or try to force their return. Instead, embrace the silence and the clarity it brings. Let God's wisdom guide you. Remember that He sees what you cannot, and His plans are always for your good. Sometimes the greatest blessings come not from what He adds to your life, but from what He takes away. When God reveals the true nature of people in your life, it can feel painful at first. The realization that someone you trusted or cared for isn't who they seem to be might sting, but what feels like loss in the moment is actually a profound blessing. God doesn't reveal or remove to harm you. He does it to protect your peace, your purpose, and your future. It's when someone's presence no longer serves your growth or aligns with His plan for you, God steps in to remove the weight you may not even realize you're carrying. It's important to recognize that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people are only there for a season, and that season has a purpose. Perhaps they taught you something, helped you through a specific moment, or showed you an aspect of yourself that needed attention. But when their time in your life is over, God removes them to make room for something or someone better. This isn't punishment. It's a gift of clarity and freedom. Sometimes we cling to relationships and friendships that have long expired because they feel familiar or comfortable. We hold on, hoping things will improve or return to the way they once were. But God sees what we cannot. He knows the hidden motives, the unseen behaviors, and the future consequences of keeping someone in your life who isn't meant to stay. His actions may feel sudden or unexpected, but they are always intentional. When He removes someone, it's because He's preparing you for something greater. Fake people disrupt your peace. They bring unnecessary drama, confusion, and pain into your life. Their words may seem kind, but their actions reveal otherwise. They might drain your energy, sow seeds of doubt, or take advantage of your kindness. God, in His infinite wisdom, knows how damaging this can be to your well-being and your ability to fulfill your purpose. By removing these individuals, He is safeguarding your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. The process of letting go can be challenging. It's natural to question why God is allowing this to happen, or to feel a sense of loss. But instead of focusing on what you're losing, shift your perspective to what you're gaining. With every removal, God is creating space in your life. Space for peace, joy, and authentic connections. He's clearing the way for people who will love, respect, and uplift you without hidden agendas. When God reveals the truth about someone, it's an invitation to trust Him. Trust that He knows what's best for you. Trust that He's leading you toward relationships that align with His purpose for your life. And trust that He's equipping you to handle the transition, even if it feels uncomfortable. This revelation isn't about punishment. It's about growth, alignment, and preparation for what's ahead. Take comfort in knowing that God's actions are rooted in love. He doesn't take people out of your life to leave you empty. He does it to fill you with what truly matters. He's removing the distractions and obstacles so that you can walk in the fullness of His blessings. Every person who exits your life is making way for someone better suited to join you on your journey. Revelation is a gift, not a burden. It's a sign that God is active in your life, guiding you toward His best for you. Embrace it with gratitude even when it's hard. Trust the process, release what no longer serves you, and make room for the beautiful connections and opportunities God has in store. What He removes today, He replaces with something far greater tomorrow. In life, God uses various ways to reveal the people who are not meant to walk alongside us. Through intuition, actions that don't align with words, tough times that reveal true colors, repeated patterns of betrayal, moments of silence, and the blessings of revelation. He protects our peace and guides us toward what's best. Each moment of clarity, no matter how painful, is a gift of love, showing us who truly belongs in our lives and who does not. God doesn't remove people to hurt us, but to prepare us, to make space for peace, joy, and connections that align with His purpose. Trust the process, embrace the lessons, and know that He has your best interest at heart. With every ending, He is crafting a better beginning. Thank you for listening and reflecting on this journey of understanding how God works in our lives. May you walk forward with faith, clarity, and confidence in His divine plan for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about silence. It's not absence. It's not surrender. Silence is preparation. It's a sacred space where you redefine who you are and recalibrate your power. When the world expects noise, you give them stillness. When they anticipate the same you return as someone entirely unrecognizable. That's the move He won't expect. You see, while they think you're out there sulking, you're sharpening your tools. While they assume you're fading, you're growing. This is your time to rise in the shadows, to transform into a version of yourself that demands attention without ever asking for it. Here's the truth. No contact isn't just about creating distance, it's about creating clarity. You've used this time to heal, to forgive, not them, but yourself, for allowing anyone to make you forget your worth. Now, when you return, don't go back to the old patterns. Walk into that space with a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any words you could say. Don't chase, don't explain, don't beg. Just be. Let your presence become the statement they didn't see coming. This move isn't for them, it's for you, because this time, you're not returning for validation. You're stepping back into the picture to show that you've already validated yourself. So, when the time comes, and he tries to figure out what happened to the person he thought he knew, don't even flinch. Just smile, stand tall, and let the new you do all the talking. Because after no contact, the move he won't expect is the one where you no longer play by his rules. You're the game changer now. Silence is often misunderstood. To many, it seems like retreat, like surrender, like giving up. But true silence, the kind you choose, the kind you command, is far from weakness. It is, in fact, your greatest strength. Silence is where power is born. It's the place where you gather yourself, reflect on what truly matters, and prepare to step forward in a way no one expects. When you choose silence, you aren't running away. You're reclaiming control. Think about it. In a world that thrives on constant noise, endless chatter, and reactive behavior, silence is revolutionary. It unsettles people. It forces them to wonder, to question, to rethink. They expect you to argue, to explain, to defend yourself. They anticipate your need for attention, for validation, for approval. But when you respond with nothing but calm, deliberate silence, you become a mystery they cannot solve. Silence gives you space to think clearly, to process your emotions, and to decide what comes next. It allows you to separate the noise from the truth. It lets you ask yourself the hard questions. What do I really want? Who do I want to be when I reemerge? And in that quiet reflection, you start to see the answers. You realize that your value isn't tied to anyone's opinion of you. It's not defined by who reaches out first or who wins the argument. Your worth has always been yours, but sometimes you need silence to remind yourself of that. While others are distracted by drama and conflict, you are building, you are regrouping, you are turning inward to strengthen the foundation of who you are. And when you do that, you become unshakable. Because here's the truth. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. True strength doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to explain itself or prove its existence. True strength is quiet. It's grounded. It's the kind of presence that demands respect without ever having to ask for it. Silence also forces others to face themselves. When you step back and stop engaging, you take away their power to control the narrative. They're left with their own thoughts, their own actions, and the weight of their own behavior. They begin to question what they did, why they did it, and what they've lost. Your silence becomes their mirror. reflecting their choices back at them. And that reflection can be far more powerful than any words you could say. Your silence isn't about them, it's about you. It's about choosing peace over chaos. It's about valuing your energy enough to step away from anything that doesn't serve you. It's about realizing that you don't have to respond to everything that challenges you. Some battles are best won by not fighting at all. So when you choose silence, understand its power. Know that it's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the wisdom to know when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to wait. It's the wisdom to trust that in the quiet, you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. When you step away from the noise, from the expectations of others, and from the chaos of constant interaction, you're not disappearing, you're redefining who you are. Sometimes, the most powerful transformation happens in silence and solitude. While you've been out of sight, you've been doing the work that truly matters, building value from within. You've been pouring into yourself in ways that others can't see, but they will certainly feel when you return. In your absence, something remarkable has been happening. You've been breaking free from the need for external validation. You've stopped measuring your worth by how others treat you, by how often they call, or by whether they notice your absence. Instead, you've shifted your focus inward, recognizing that true worth isn't given by the outside world, it's claimed by you. This time away has given you the opportunity to rebuild yourself from the ground up. And that work is far more powerful than any fleeting approval you could chase. There's a beauty in being unseen for a while. It's in that space where you've grown, unobserved and uninterrupted. You've been investing in your mind, your body, your spirit, and your purpose. Each moment spent on yourself has been a step toward becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more unshakable. And what makes this transformation so powerful is that it's not for anyone else. It's for you. You're not trying to prove anything. You're simply becoming the person you were always meant to be. When you return, you'll notice something different. Not just in yourself, but in how others perceive you. They'll sense the shift even if they can't quite explain it. They'll see someone who carries themselves with quiet confidence, someone who no longer feels the need to explain or defend their worth. That kind of presence is undeniable. It commands respect, not by force, but by its very nature. And here's the thing, when you redefine your worth, you stop seeking it from others. You no longer need anyone to tell you that you're enough because you've already told yourself. That kind of self-assurance is magnetic. It draws people in, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're standing in the truth of who you are. They'll admire the calm, the strength, and the certainty that radiates from you. But make no mistake, this journey isn't about returning to prove a point to anyone. It's not about showing them what they missed or what they've lost. It's about showing up for yourself. It's about stepping into the world as someone who knows their value and refuses to settle for anything less than what aligns with that. So, when the time comes for you to re-emerge, don't walk back into old patterns. Don't shrink yourself to fit into spaces that no longer serve you. Stand tall, unapologetically, as the person you've become. You won't need to demand respect or admiration. It will come naturally, because people respect those who know their worth. And now, you do. When you step into a period of no contact, you're not just creating distance from someone else, you're creating space for yourself. This time is a gift, an opportunity to shift your focus inward and become the best version of who you are. It's not about waiting, watching, or wondering what the other person is doing. It's about taking control of your life in ways that will leave everyone, including them, astonished by your transformation. True self-transformation begins the moment you decide to invest in yourself. Mentally, this means addressing the thoughts and beliefs that have been holding you back. It's about breaking free from the patterns of self-doubt, fear, or dependency that may have kept you stuck. During this time, you have the power to rewrite the narrative in your mind. You remind yourself of your worth, your resilience, and your ability to thrive on your own. You set goals, explore new interests, and feed your mind with knowledge and inspiration that elevate your perspective. Self-transformation means taking care of the body that carries you through this life. Maybe you start a new fitness routine, find time to eat better, or simply take steps to feel stronger and more confident in your own skin. It's not just about how you look, it's about how you feel. A healthier, more energized you will radiate confidence in ways that others can't ignore. And when you walk into a room, they'll see the change, not just in your appearance, but in the way you carry yourself. But the most profound part of transformation happens on a spiritual level. In the quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts, you begin to connect with something deeper. You reflect on what truly matters to you, your values, your purpose, and the kind of life you want to lead. This is the time to align with your higher self, to find peace in knowing that your worth doesn't come from anyone else. It comes from within, whether through meditation, prayer, or simply sitting in stillness. You nurture a sense of inner strength that can't be shaken by external circumstances. And here's the beauty of self-transformation. It's unexpected. While others may anticipate that you'll come back the same, that you'll return to old habits or familiar dynamics, you'll surprise them. The move they won't expect is your evolution. They won't see it coming when you walk back into the world as someone who is more confident, more self-assured, and more grounded than ever before. They'll see someone who has outgrown the need for validation, someone who has found joy and fulfillment within themselves. This period of no contact isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of growth, change, and renewal. When you focus on your personal growth, mentally, physically, and spiritually, you become a force to be reckoned with. And that kind of transformation isn't just powerful, it's unforgettable. When you step away and break the patterns of what's expected, you're not just creating distance, you're rewriting the narrative entirely. People often rely on predictability. They expect you to react in familiar ways, to follow the same script, to show up when and how they assume you will. But the moment you stop responding the way they anticipate, you shift the power dynamic. You take control of the story. And in doing so, you introduce an element of uncertainty that keeps them guessing. To control the narrative, you must first recognize the role you've been playing. Have you been too accessible, too reactive, or too predictable? These behaviors, though natural at times, can become a pattern that others take for granted. When you step back and choose to act differently, it sends a clear message. You're no longer operating on their terms. You're no longer seeking validation or chasing after their approval. Instead, you're focusing on yourself. And that shift in focus changes everything. Breaking the pattern isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone. It's about stepping into your own power. When you stop reacting impulsively, you create space for intentionality. You start thinking about what's best for you, rather than what will please someone else. This intentional shift forces others to pay attention. They begin to notice your absence, your silence, your newfound confidence. Think briefly. Do your thinking truly mark you in any state of mind and heart? Reflect on your progress. And in that space, they're left wondering what you're thinking, what you're planning, and whether they've underestimated you. The truth is, unpredictability is powerful. It keeps people on their toes. When they can no longer anticipate your next move, they lose the upper hand. Suddenly, they're the ones questioning themselves, analyzing their actions, and reevaluating the way they've treated you. Your decision to break the pattern disrupts their sense of control, and in its place, you establish your own. But controlling the narrative isn't just about the impact on them, it's about reclaiming your own story. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your life, and no one else has the right to dictate how your story unfolds. When you stop following the script that others have written for you, you open the door to new possibilities. You get to decide how you show up, who you engage with, and what energy you bring into your life. And here's the beauty of it: controlling the narrative doesn't require confrontation or explanation. It doesn't require you to announce your plans or defend your choices. It's in your actions, or sometimes your deliberate lack of action, that the shift becomes clear. You simply move differently. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any words. By breaking the expected pattern, you remind others and yourself that you are not defined by the past. You are not confined to old roles or habits. You are dynamic, evolving, and capable of surprising even those who think they know you best. And in that unpredictability lies your greatest strength, because when you control the narrative, you control the outcome. When you return as a new version of yourself, it's not about making noise or demanding attention. It's about embodying an energy that's unbothered, unshaken, and undeniably confident. Confidence isn't loud, it's quiet and self-assured. It doesn't seek approval or validation. It radiates from within, making people notice without you needing to say a word. But what makes this transformation even more powerful is the element of unpredictability. When they can't figure you out, when they don't know your next move, you hold all the cards. Unpredictable energy isn't about being erratic or chaotic. It's about moving with intention, but without explanation. People are often comfortable when they can label you, categorize you, and predict your behavior. They feel secure when they know how you'll react, what you'll say, and what you'll do next. But when you shift, when you become someone they no longer recognize, they can no longer rely on the version of you they once knew. They have to adjust, reassess, and figure out how to approach this new, evolved version of you. Confidence is your foundation in this transformation. It's the quiet knowing that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You're not seeking attention, and you're not playing games. Instead, you're focused on your growth, your goals, and your peace. That kind of energy is magnetic because it's rare. Most people are chasing something: approval, love, or recognition. But when you show up whole and self-assured, you stand out. You become the kind of person who doesn't need anything from anyone, but is still captivating to everyone. The unpredictability comes from the way you move now. You're no longer tied to old patterns or habits. Maybe you used to over-explain yourself, constantly seeking to justify your actions or make others understand. That's no longer necessary. Maybe you used to be overly available, always putting others' needs before your own. Now you prioritize your time and energy. This shift isn't about pushing people away. It's about protecting your peace and valuing yourself. And here's the beauty of being unpredictable. It forces others to pay attention. They'll wonder why you're different, what's changed, and how they fit into this new version of your life. The uncertainty keeps them intrigued, and the confidence keeps them drawn to you. But the key is this: you're not doing it for them. This transformation is for you. It's about stepping into your power, redefining your worth, and living life on your terms. When you return with this energy, it's like a ripple effect. Your confidence and unpredictability will challenge others to see you in a new light. They'll realize that you're no longer the same person they once knew. And while they're trying to figure you out, you'll be too busy thriving to even notice. That's the real power, moving forward with grace, strength, and certainty while leaving others guessing. You've evolved, and there's nothing more powerful or inspiring than that. When you choose to focus on your power, everything changes. It's not about revenge or proving a point to someone else. That mindset keeps you tied to their actions, their thoughts, and their opinions. This is about stepping into your own strength, reclaiming your energy, and showing the world, and more importantly yourself, that you thrive because of who you are, not because of who is or isn't in your life. True power doesn't come from external validation. It comes from within, from a deep understanding that your worth isn't dependent on anyone else. When you focus on your power, you stop living reactively. You're no longer spending energy wondering what someone else thinks or how they might respond. Instead, your energy is invested in yourself, your growth, your purpose, and your peace. That kind of focus creates a foundation that nothing and no one can shake. Thriving on your own doesn't mean shutting yourself off from others. It means learning to stand so firmly in your sense of self that your happiness, success, and fulfillment are no longer tied to external factors. You begin to realize that you don't need someone else to complete you or make you whole. You're already complete, already whole. And when you recognize that, you stop settling for less than what aligns with your highest self, that you define yourself at what aligns with your highest self. This isn't about performing for others. It's not about showing them how well you're doing without them. That's a trap, because even then your focus is still on them. Instead, this is about redirecting your focus entirely. It's about asking yourself, what do I want for my life? How can I grow? What can I create? And then pouring your energy into those answers. When you focus on your power, you naturally radiate confidence. People will notice, but their recognition isn't the goal. It's a byproduct of the work you're doing on yourself. You become magnetic not because you're trying to attract attention, but because true power is irresistible. It's rare to see someone who is deeply aligned with themselves, who knows their worth, and who isn't looking outside of themselves for validation. When you embody that, it inspires others, but more importantly, it transforms you. This journey requires self-discipline and self-compassion. You'll have moments where you're tempted to look back, to wonder what someone else is thinking or feeling. That's natural, but the key is to gently bring your focus back to yourself. Each time you do, you strengthen your ability to stand in your power. You remind yourself that your life is yours to shape, and no one else gets to dictate its direction. Thriving on your own isn't about isolation, it's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the need to be understood, validated, or completed by anyone else. It's about recognizing that your power lies in your ability to create a life that fulfills you, a life where you're not just surviving, but truly thriving. And when you do that, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your life, your peace, and your happiness speak louder than words ever could. Everything comes down to one powerful truth. Your strength lies within you. It's not about playing games, proving points, or seeking validation from anyone else. It's about rediscovering who you are, reclaiming your power, and rising to a version of yourself that is confident, self-assured, and unshakable. By breaking patterns, controlling the narrative, and focusing on your growth, you create a life where you no longer rely on external forces to define your worth. You thrive because you've chosen to, and in that thriving, you become a force no one can ignore. This isn't about them. It's about you. Your silence, transformation, unpredictability, and focus all point to one thing. You're building a life that serves your highest self. And when you move from that place, the world takes notice, not because you demand it, but because your energy commands it. Thank you for letting me share this journey of strength, growth, and self-discovery with you.
Imagine for a moment that you are not simply living, but crafting a destiny so grand it echoes through time. This is not mere fantasy. It is the first stone laid in the foundation of your empire. What I'm asking of you is not toil, not struggle, but the assumption of greatness that already resides within you. Every empire begins in the unseen. The pyramids of Egypt, the cathedrals of Europe, the skyscrapers of modern cities, they were all first built in the mind of their creators. If you wish to build an empire, you must begin in the same place, with your imagination. See the structure rise before your eyes. Feel the solidity of its walls. Hear the voices of those who admire it. All of it must live vividly within you before it can exist around you. To build an empire, you must become its architect. You cannot wait for circumstances to align, you must align them yourself. Take on the role of the builder. Walk, talk, and think as though you are already the ruler of this magnificent domain. Does a king or queen doubt the strength of their throne? No. They stand firm, commanding their world with certainty. Could you put yourself in the shoes of this king going downhill? Against that background, would there be any struggle? Let us be clear. This is not about arrogance, but about certainty. Certainty that what you desire is already yours. You do not have to beg for the materials to build your empire. They will come to you, drawn by the power of your assumption. Feel the satisfaction of the end result. Allow yourself to experience the pride of looking upon the work completed, even before the first brick is laid. But understand this, the mind is a precise instrument. It cannot serve two masters. If you let doubt or fear linger, you weaken the foundation. Be disciplined in thought. Your empire requires focused attention and unwavering faith. No matter what your eyes see, hold on to the vision within you. And then act. Act not as one hoping to achieve, but as one who has already achieved. Your steps, your words, your decisions, they must reflect the identity of someone who is building something monumental. Each day, act as if the empire is already yours. Persist. The builder of an empire does not abandon their tools when storms come. They do not pause because the work feels long. They persist, knowing that what they are creating is inevitable. Your life is the empire you are here to build. You are the ruler, the architect, and the visionary. Act as if your empire already stands tall, and soon it will rise before you. The world will marvel at your creation. But you will know the truth. It was always there, waiting for you to assume it into being. Every great achievement, every monumental creation, and every enduring legacy begins, not in the hands or through action, but in the quiet, invisible recesses of the mind. The mind is the blueprint, the place where all things take form before they manifest in the world. The world outside, no matter how solid or real it may seem, is but a reflection of the world within you. Unless the self-control falters, and unless we control our mind, the world is by the same token, is but a reflection of the world within you. What you see, experience, and interact with in your external reality is nothing more than the echo of your inner assumptions, beliefs, and imaginings. No empire has ever risen without first existing in the imagination of its builder. Long before the first stone is laid or the first plan is drawn, the vision must be alive in the mind. The builder sees the towering structures, the bustling cities, and the thriving communities long before anyone else can even fathom their existence. This inner vision is more real to the creator than the physical reality surrounding them. It is this clarity of vision, this absolute conviction, that allows them to transform the invisible into the visible. I'll be right back with your lesson. The same principle applies to your life. Everything you experience is the result of what you hold within your mind. If your thoughts are scattered, your life will reflect that chaos. If your thoughts are focused, deliberate, and aligned with a specific vision, your reality will naturally organize itself around that intent. It is not a question of whether this law works. It is always working. The only question is whether you are using it consciously or unconsciously. Think of the mind as a canvas and your thoughts as the brushstrokes. Every thought you entertain is painting your future, whether you realize it or not. Most people allow their thoughts to wander aimlessly, never realizing they are creating a masterpiece of mediocrity. But those who understand that the mind is the blueprint become deliberate in their thinking. They take hold of the brush and begin to paint with purpose. Surround yourself with the best kind of thoughts. The thoughts can be inspirational. The thoughts can make an impact. The thoughts can permeate. They see not what is, but what could be. And they hold that vision until it takes shape in the physical world. Se him iles. This process requires discipline. The mind, left unchecked, tends to dwell on fear, doubt, and limitation. These are the shadows that distort your blueprint and weaken the foundation of your empire. To create a life of greatness, you must train your mind to focus on the end result, to see only the desired outcome and to disregard anything that contradicts it. This is not a denial of reality, but an acknowledgement that reality is fluid, shaped by the power of your thoughts. Imagine a builder standing before an empty plot of land. To an onlooker, it may appear barren and lifeless, but the builder sees the potential. They see the grand structures that will one day stand there, the vibrant life that will fill the space. The builder does not focus on the emptiness. They focus on the vision of what is to come. This vision guides every decision, every action, and every step of the process. That was the seed of every decision, every action, and every step of the process. The same is true for you. Your mind must hold the vision of the life you wish to create, even when your external circumstances appear barren. You must believe in your vision so deeply that it becomes more real to you than your current reality. When you do this, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that vision, and the world begins to shift to match it. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, and circumstances will rearrange themselves to bring your vision to life. It is not magic. It is the natural law of creation. The world outside is a mirror. If you look into it and do not like what you see, the answer is not to try to change the reflection. The answer is to change the image within. This is why so many people fail to transform their lives. They focus all their energy on altering the external without ever addressing the internal. But when you realize that your mind is the source, you understand that true change begins within. Every great empire that has ever existed was first built in the mind. It is a process of creation that begins with imagination, fueled by belief, and brought into reality through focused intention. If you can see it in your mind, and if you can hold that vision with unwavering faith, there is no force in the world that can stop it from becoming real. So, I urge you to take control of your blueprints. Guard your thoughts with vigilance, for they are the seeds of your future. Plant only what you wish to see grow, and trust that the process will unfold. The world will always reflect what is within you. Your task is not to fight against the reflection, but to shape the image it reflects. Everything you desire, everything you dream of, begins within. Your mind is the blueprint, and you are the creator. Inside everything, to create the life you desire, you must first see yourself as its builder, the architect of your destiny. Nothing happens by chance, and no circumstances beyond your influence when you recognize the power you hold within. You are not a passive participant in life reacting to what is given to you. Instead, you are the creator, shaping every experience, every relationship, and every opportunity through the power of your imagination and belief. Thank you. To assume the role of the builder is to take responsibility for your life. It means stepping away from the mindset of a victim and claiming the position of authority over your existence. A builder does not wait for the environment to provide favorable conditions. They create those conditions. They do not allow obstacles to dictate their progress. Instead, they adapt and persevere until their vision is realized. Slowly, they fill the gaps in their vision of themselves, while the vision of the external world is created by the conditions of their exterior. This shift in perspective is the foundation upon which all transformation begins. Imagine an architect planning a grand structure. Before any materials are gathered or construction begins, they have a clear and vivid picture of the finished result. Every detail is meticulously designed in their mind, the layout, the purpose, the aesthetic. This mental image guides every step of the process. The architect does not second-guess their vision. They trust it completely and move forward with confidence. Nevertheless, to build your life, you must approach your dreams in the same way. See yourself as the architect, holding the vision of what you want so firmly that it becomes an undeniable reality within you. Belief is the cornerstone of this process. Without belief, even the most detailed plan will falter. The architect of your destiny must be unwavering in their faith, not in the external world, but in the internal power that creates all things. It is not enough to wish for a better life. You must believe with absolute certainty that you are capable of creating it. This belief does not rely on evidence from the outside world. It is a knowing that stems from within, a conviction that what you imagine is already yours, even if the physical proof has not yet appeared. When you assume the role of the builder, your actions begin to align with your vision. You no longer act as someone hoping for change or waiting for circumstances to improve. Instead, you act as if the life you desire is already unfolding. Your decisions, your thoughts, and your demeanor all reflect the confidence of someone who knows they are in control. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. The builder understands that the outer world will rearrange itself to match the inner conviction, and they move through life with this quiet assurance. Obstacles may arise, as they often do in any building process, but the builder does not see these as insurmountable. Instead, they view them as opportunities to refine their vision, to strengthen their resolve, and to demonstrate their unwavering belief. Challenges are not signs of failure. They are part of the process, moments that test the strength of your inner conviction. When you encounter setbacks, remind yourself that they are temporary. The vision you hold within you is eternal and unyielding, and it will manifest if you remain steadfast. If you do this today, you will manifest the wish of your heart. You will manifest the wish of your mind. This process requires discipline. The mind is not naturally focused. It tends to wander, to doubt, to fear, but the builder trains their mind to remain fixed on the vision. They do not allow fleeting emotions or external circumstances to sway them. They hold the image of their desire with unwavering clarity, returning to it again and again, no matter what distractions arise. Like storm clouds, they travel on through the night until they reach new places of pure knowledge. Over time, this focused attention becomes second nature, and the vision grows stronger, more vivid, until it feels as real as the world around you. To assume the role of the builder also means taking inspired action. While the foundation of your destiny is built in the mind, the physical world responds to movement. When you act with intention, as though your vision is already true, you set in motion a chain of events that align with your belief. Opportunities appear, connections are made, and resources flow toward you, all because you are moving in harmony with the reality you are creating. These actions are not born out of desperation or fear. They are expressions of the confidence and certainty that you carry within you. In your role as the builder, you begin to see life differently. You realize that every moment is an opportunity to create, every decision a chance to align with your vision. You no longer wait for permission or validation from others. Instead, you trust your inner guidance, knowing that it is leading you toward the fulfillment of your destiny. You become the architect of your own story, crafting it with intention, purpose, and unwavering belief. Step into this role fully. See yourself as the builder, the creator, the architect of your life. Hold your vision with conviction, act with confidence, and persist with faith. In doing so, you will not only transform your reality, but also come to understand the limitless power that has always been within you. The life you desire is not something you find. It is something you build, one thought, one action, and one moment at a time. The true foundation of your empire lies not in the amount of effort you exert, nor in the relentless pursuit of external achievements. It is built on a far more subtle yet infinitely powerful principle, the feeling of already having achieved it. The mind is the architect, yes, but the heart is the force that breathes life into the vision. It is the feeling, the emotional conviction that transforms mere thought into tangible reality. Without it, even the most detailed plans remain lifeless, inert. But when you cultivate the feeling of your desire already fulfilled, you activate a creative power that nothing in the world can resist. Feeling is the secret ingredient that bridges the gap between imagination and manifestation. To merely think about your goals is not enough. Thought alone lacks the energy required to bring forth your vision. But when your thoughts are imbued with the feeling of already having what you desire, you align yourself with the outcome as though it is already yours. In that state, you no longer ask or wish, you know. And you know more than any human being living daily today that except for yourself, you are no longer separate from your goal, you are one with it. Think of it like this. If you were to construct a grand building, you wouldn't lay the foundation without a deep sense of certainty about the final structure. You wouldn't waste your energy doubting whether the building would stand or whether the materials would arrive. Instead, you would proceed with an inner assurance, fueled by the clear image of the finished masterpiece. Similarly, when you approach your desires, you must cultivate the feeling that they are already complete. This feeling is your foundation, stronger than any external circumstance and immune to doubt. To feel the end result, you must step into the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. Imagine the life you desire in vivid detail, not as something distant, but as something happening now. What would it feel like to wake up each day in that life? How would you carry yourself? What emotions would fill your heart? Sit with these questions and let the answers come alive within you. Close your eyes and see yourself already there, living the life you've envisioned. When you see this vision, awaken the life you've envisioned. Allow those feelings to rise, to take root in your being. This process is not an act of pretending, it is an act of embodying. You are not deceiving yourself by imagining your goal as already achieved. Instead, you are aligning yourself with the frequency of that reality, drawing it toward you with every thought and feeling. The universe does not respond to wishes or complaints, it responds to the energy you emit. When you feel the end result as real, you broadcast a signal of fulfillment, and the universe mirrors that back to you in the form of experiences, opportunities, and outcomes that match your state of being. Most people, however, get caught in the trap of focusing on what they lack. They fixate on the absence of their desires, and in doing so, they amplify that very absence. They wake up each day feeling the weight of what they do not have, and they wonder why their efforts seem futile. But the key is to reverse this pattern. Instead of dwelling on what is missing, turn your attention to the feeling of already having it. Even if your physical reality has not yet caught up, your inner reality is the seed from which all things grow. This practice requires faith, not in the sense of blind hope, but in the sense of knowing that the unseen is just as real as the seen. When a farmer plants a seed, they do not doubt that it will grow simply because they cannot see it beneath the soil. They water it, nurture it, and trust the process. Similarly, when you plant the seed of your desire in your mind, you must trust that it is already growing. The feeling of the end result is the nourishment that ensures its growth. There may be moments when doubt creeps in, moments when the external world seems to contradict your inner vision. But in those times, return to the feeling. Close your eyes and revisit the state of fulfillment. Let it wash over you, dissolving fear and uncertainty. The more you practice this, the stronger your connection to the desired reality becomes. It will begin to feel so natural, so real, that the outer world has no choice but to conform. Feeling the end result is not just about achieving a specific goal. It is about living from a place of abundance, joy, and confidence in every aspect of your life. When you make this a habit, you realize that you are not limited to the outcomes you once thought possible. You can create far beyond what you've ever imagined, simply by aligning your inner state with the reality you wish to experience. So let go of effort for its own sake. Release the need to push, to struggle, to force your desires into being. Instead, turn inward and feel the truth of your vision. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the gratitude as though it is already yours. In that state, you are no longer seeking, you are claiming. And in claiming it within, you bring it to life without. This is the foundation of your empire, built not on effort but on the power of feeling. Discipline in thought is the cornerstone of creating anything meaningful in life. Just as an empire cannot rise on unstable foundations or scattered intentions, neither can your dreams manifest without focused mental clarity. Your mind is the control center of your reality, and every thought you entertain shapes the course of your life. To align yourself with the vision you seek, you must bring order to your thoughts, training them to serve your desired outcome rather than sabotaging it. This discipline is not restrictive. It is liberating, for it allows you to consciously create instead of unconsciously react. Investing involves risk and hinders imaginative thinking, because investing takes away control over your imagination. Most people go through life allowing their thoughts to wander aimlessly. Their minds are like untended gardens, overgrown with weeds of doubt, fear, and distraction. These weeds choke the growth of anything beautiful or purposeful. Without discipline, the mind becomes a chaotic place, incapable of sustaining the energy needed to bring dreams into reality. But when you commit to disciplining your thoughts, you clear the mental clutter and create fertile ground where the seeds of your vision can flourish. Discipline begins with awareness. You must become the observer of your mind, paying attention to the thoughts you habitually entertain. Are they aligned with the life you want to create, or are they reinforcing the limitations you wish to overcome? The thoughts you hold consistently act as instructions to your subconscious mind, which then works to manifest them in your reality. If your thoughts are scattered, contradictory, or rooted in fear, your life will reflect that confusion. But when your thoughts are focused, intentional, and aligned with your vision, you create a powerful force that shapes your reality in accordance with your desires. To discipline your thoughts, start by identifying the vision you wish to bring to life. Be specific. What does your ideal life look like? What does success feel like to you? What kind of person do you need to become to embody that reality? Once you have clarity about your vision, begin to align your thoughts with it. Every time a thought arises, ask yourself, does this support the life I want to create, or does it take me further from it? The mind is very powerful, but life keeps realizing itself with the success you choose to believe in. Life keeps you going in the right direction, and if the thought aligns with your vision, nurture it. If it does not, replace it with one that does. This process requires vigilance. The mind, left unchecked, often reverts to old patterns and negative habits. You might find yourself slipping into doubts, fears, or comparisons. When this happens, do not chastise yourself or give in to frustration. Instead, gently redirect your thoughts back to your vision. Treat your mind like a muscle that grows stronger with practice. The more you exercise control over your thoughts, the easier it becomes to maintain focus and clarity. Visualization is a powerful tool in this practice. Spend time each day immersing yourself in the mental picture of your desired outcome. Close your eyes and see it vividly, engaging all your senses. What does your ideal life look like? What does it sound like, feel like, even smell like? The more detailed and real this vision becomes in your mind, the easier it will be to align your thoughts with it. Visualization trains your mind to focus on what you want rather than what you fear, creating a sense of certainty that propels you toward your goals. Another critical aspect of disciplined thought is eliminating distractions. An empire cannot rise if its builders are constantly diverted by irrelevant pursuits. In the same way, your vision cannot manifest if your mental energy is scattered across too many unproductive or conflicting areas. Simplify your life where possible. Focus your time, energy, and attention on what truly matters. and let go of anything that does not serve your higher purpose. And let go of anything that does not serve your higher purpose. This might mean setting boundaries, saying no to unnecessary obligations, or limiting exposure to negativity and chaos. Disciplining your thoughts also means being mindful of the language you use both internally and externally. Words carry immense creative power. Speak as though your vision is already a reality, and your subconscious mind will begin to align with that truth. Replace statements of doubt, I hope, I wish, or I don't know if I can, with declarations of certainty, I am, I have, it is done. The more you affirm your vision with conviction, the more natural it becomes to think, speak, and act in alignment with it. Gratitude becomes a creation and not a collection. Gratitude becomes a creation and not a distribution. Consistency is the key to building this mental discipline. It is not enough to focus on your vision occasionally or when it is convenient. The builder of an empire works with dedication every day, even when progress seems slow or obstacles appear insurmountable. Similarly, you must train your mind daily, holding your vision with unwavering faith regardless of external circumstances. The more consistent you are, the stronger your mental discipline becomes, and the faster your reality begins to shift. That disciplined thought is not about suppressing or denying emotions. You will encounter moments of doubt, frustration, or fear, and that is natural. The goal is not to eliminate these feelings, but to rise above them by returning to your vision. A disciplined mind is not a mind devoid of emotion. It is a mind that acknowledges emotions without allowing them to dictate its course. As you commit to this practice, you will notice a profound transformation. Your thoughts will become clearer, your actions more purposeful, and your results more aligned with your desires. You will no longer feel at the mercy of circumstances or overwhelmed by life's challenges. Instead, you will stand as the architect of your destiny, building your empire one disciplined thought at a time. This is the power of mental alignment, the ability to create a life that reflects the highest version of yourself. Confidence is not something you wait to develop after success arrives. It is the very foundation upon which success is built. To create an empire, whether it be a life of abundance, a thriving business, or a state of inner fulfillment, you must act with the confidence of someone who already possesses it. This means carrying yourself, thinking and moving through the world as though your empire already exists. Confidence is not arrogance, it is a quiet, unshakable knowing. It is the embodiment of faith in your vision and your ability to bring it to life. The key to this principle is understanding that your external reality will always mirror your internal state. If you act with doubt, hesitation, or insecurity, the world reflects that back to you in the form of obstacles, setbacks, and stagnation. But when you act with the confidence of completion, you signal to the universe and to yourself that your success is inevitable. In doing so, you align with the energy of your desired outcome, and doors begin to open that once seemed closed. End of footnote. Opportunities find you, resources flow to you, and people respond to you in ways that support your vision. And now we need to get into the third step, which is embracing the unknown. This is the true mystery of human activity. Acting with the confidence of completion does not mean waiting for everything to be perfect or for conditions to align before you take action. It means moving forward with certainty, even when you cannot yet see the full path ahead. Imagine the ruler of a kingdom. Do they walk hesitantly among their people, doubting their authority or second-guessing their decisions? Of course not. They move with assurance, not because they know every answer, but because they trust in their role and their ability to lead. Similarly, you must embody the identity of the person who has already achieved what you desire. Every move you make is connected with the mindset you undertake. This confidence must be present in every aspect of your being. It is in the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, and the choices you make each day. When you act as though your success is already assured, you send a clear message to your subconscious mind. This is who I am. And your subconscious, being the fertile ground for all creation, begins to bring your external reality into alignment with that identity. Start by visualizing yourself as the person you want to become. How would you stand? How would you walk into a room? What tone would your voice carry? What decisions would you make without hesitation? Embody these traits now, even if your circumstances have not yet caught up. Confidence is not dependent on external validation. It arises from within. When you carry yourself with the poise of someone who has already achieved their dreams, you begin to attract the conditions that reflect that reality. It's also important to remember that confidence is built through action. Waiting for confidence to magically appear is like waiting for a plant to grow without first planting a seed. Each time you take a step toward your goal, no matter how small, you reinforce your belief in yourself and your vision. Success is not achieved in one grand leap. It is the result of consistent, aligned action taken with faith and determination. Life is a battlefield. Each action you take with confidence strengthens your identity as someone capable of building and sustaining an empire. If you believe you can, and you start building, that empire will grow and grow capably. Even when faced with challenges, hold firmly to the identity of someone who has already succeeded. Challenges are not signs of failure, they are opportunities to grow stronger, to refine your vision, and to prove your resilience. When you act with the confidence of completion, you face obstacles with a sense of calm and purpose, knowing that they are simply part of the process. A ruler does not abandon their kingdom at the first sign of difficulty. They adapt, strategize, and move forward with unwavering belief in their ability to overcome. Such confidence also involves letting go of the need for approval from others. Building an empire requires you to stay true to your vision, even when others do not understand or support it. The opinions of others are often shaped by their own fears and limitations, not by the truth of what is possible for you. When you act with the confidence of completion, you no longer seek validation from external sources. Instead, you draw your strength from within, trusting that your path is yours to walk and that your vision is yours to fulfill. This level of confidence creates a ripple effect. When you carry yourself as though your empire already exists, others begin to see you in the same light. They sense your certainty, your clarity, and your purpose, and they respond accordingly. Opportunities arise, partnerships form, and circumstances shift to align with the energy you project. Confidence is magnetic. It draws to you the very resources and connections you need to bring your vision to life. Understand that acting with the confidence of completion is not about pretending or forcing yourself to feel something you do not. It is about choosing to align with the truth of who you are: a creator, a builder, a visionary. The empire you seek is not something separate from you. It is an extension of your inner being. When you act with the confidence of completion, you bridge the gap between imagination and reality, transforming your vision into existence through the power of belief and aligned action. End quote. So walk with purpose, speak with conviction, make decisions as though you already possess what you desire. Let your actions reflect the identity of someone who has already built their empire. In doing so, you align with the energy of success and draw it closer with every step you take. Your confidence is the key that unlocks the doors to your vision, turning dreams into reality and potential into power. Persistence is the cornerstone of creation. Every great builder understands that no structure, no masterpiece, no empire is ever completed without unwavering commitment to the process. To create the life you desire, to bring your vision to life, you must embody the same persistence. This is not mere effort or toil, but a steadfast determination to remain faithful to your assumption until it materializes. Reality will always conform to the persistence of the one who refuses to waver. The journey to manifesting your vision is often marked by moments of doubt, challenges, or delays. It is in these moments that your persistence is tested. A builder who abandons the work halfway never sees the fruits of their labor. The foundation may be laid, the walls may begin to rise, but without continued effort, the structure remains incomplete. Similarly, when you allow doubt to creep into your mind, you stall the progress of your creation. You stall the progress of your creation. Faith and persistence must walk hand in hand, for it is through these qualities that the unseen becomes seen. I think Anne Mary Churchill, whose speech is in this book, limitless, influencing, ethereal. Persistence requires you to remain loyal to your vision, no matter how your current circumstances may appear. The outer world often mirrors past assumptions, which means there may be a lag between your inner conviction and its external manifestation. During this time, it is easy to become discouraged or to question whether your vision will ever materialize. But this is the very moment when persistence is most critical. You must remind yourself that your reality is always catching up to your imagination. What you consistently assume and feel to be true will inevitably harden into fact if you refuse to give up. To persist does not mean forcing or struggling. It means resting in the knowing that what you desire is already yours. It means continuing to imagine, to feel, and to act as though your vision is already a reality, even when the evidence is not yet visible. Just as a builder continues to construct brick by brick, trusting the blueprint, you must remain committed to the inner work of aligning your thoughts and emotions with your desired outcome. This inner alignment is the foundation upon which all external manifestations are built. Consider the process of planting a seed. Once the seed is buried in the soil, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You water it, nurture it, and trust that in time it will sprout and grow into a thriving plant. The same is true for your vision. Once you have planted the seed of your desire in your imagination, your role is to nurture it with faith and persistence. Do not uproot it with doubt or impatience. Trust the process and continue to align your thoughts and actions with the reality you wish to create. Persistence also involves recognizing and overcoming resistance. The mind often clings to old patterns and beliefs that are out of alignment with your vision. These patterns may surface as negative thoughts, fears, or a tendency to focus on what is lacking. When this happens, it is important not to resist or fight these thoughts, but to gently redirect your focus back to your vision. Every time you do this, you strengthen your assumption and weaken the hold of the old patterns. Over time, the new assumption becomes dominant and the old one fades away. Persistence is not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about acknowledging the challenges while remaining rooted in the truth of your vision. A builder does not abandon the work when faced with obstacles. They find solutions and adapt. Similarly, you must face challenges with the conviction that they are temporary and that your vision is inevitable. Every challenge is an opportunity to deepen your faith and strengthen your persistence. There may be times when the path forward feels unclear or when progress seems slow. In these moments, remind yourself that persistence is not measured by speed, but by consistency. Even small, steady steps taken with faith and determination will eventually lead to the realization of your vision. Do not compare your journey to others or become discouraged by the seeming success of those around you. Each person's path is unique, and your only responsibility is to remain faithful to your own vision. It is also important to celebrate every sign of progress, no matter how small. These signs are evidence that your persistence is working and that your reality is beginning to shift. Acknowledge them with gratitude and use them as fuel to continue. Gratitude amplifies your energy and reinforces your alignment with the reality you are creating. Persistence is the act of holding the end result in your mind and heart until it becomes tangible. It is refusing to give up, no matter how long it takes, or how difficult the journey may seem. Remember, reality is malleable and it is shaped by the strength of your assumptions and the consistency of your focus. The builder who persists, who continues to lay brick after brick with unwavering belief, ultimately completes the structure and stands in awe of what they have created. So, persist. Remain faithful to your vision. Trust in the power of your imagination and the inevitability of your creation. Let every thought, every feeling, and every action be a testament to your unwavering belief. In time, your persistence will be rewarded, and the reality you once imagined will stand before you, fully realized. The work may take time, but the outcome is certain for those who do not waver. In conclusion, to build your empire, you must act with unshakable confidence, persist with unwavering faith, and embody the very essence of the person you wish to become. Your mind is the blueprint. Your actions must reflect the identity of a ruler, and your persistence will transform your vision into reality. Every step you take, every thought you align, every challenge you face, each is a part of the journey that leads to the realization of your dreams. But the empire you seek is not far away. It is being built within you, brick by brick, moment by moment, and you will see the outer world is made up. You are not merely waiting for your reality to change. You are the architect, the builder, and the creator of your destiny. Stay focused, remain disciplined, and never abandon your vision, for your empire is already in the making. It will materialize because of your persistence and belief. How can you know if you do not look like the outside world? Because of your persistence and belief. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you. Keep building, keep believing, and know that the life you desire is already yours. Stay strong, stay persistent, and watch as your empire comes to life.